The RBI's expert committee to revise and strengthen the monetary policy framework itself had recommended 4% plus or minus 2, and the recommendations were based on a fair bit of analysis. Secondly, the monetary policy framework agreement, which the governor signed on behalf of the RBI with the government in February of 2015, that also had 4 plus or minus 2%. And subsequent to the amendment of the RBI Act, there have been discussions with the government from the RBI side, and what has been endorsed is the 4% plus or minus 2. And that process is regardless of the Monetary Policy Committee. The target has to be established between the bank and the government. About 55% of the CPI basket will not be impacted by the GST. Secondly, as the governor said, the effective rate is going to be important. But remember that one benefit of the GST is that the cascading disappears. So you might actually get effective tax rates on many goods and services to come down. And usually as the base expands, you don't need to have a tax rate which is as high as would be required. So the inflationary impact, firstly, it could just be one time. Secondly, to the extent that such a large part of the CPI basket is already out of it, I think the durable impact on it is likely to be limited. But it remains to be seen, and the full effects of this will be only felt, if at all, possibly in the second half of the next financial year. When it was announced in April that we would eliminate the structural deficit, we had not given a timeline. And the reason for that are the factors that the governor mentioned, that there are a fair number of transitory issues also taking place. And in the back of our mind, it was a 1 to 2 year program. We have to make it congruent with the stance of monetary policy. It's not an unconstrained decision that was taken, but the path is well set that we want to eliminate that deficit, and we will calibrate it in the least disruptive and most beneficial manner. In many ways, I think an oil price of between 40 and 50 is a sweet spot. It's something that we can absorb with a relatively low current account deficit. The remittances are protected to some extent. So at the moment, it's not a cause for worry.